We've seen many render time effects. Some you can preview in the program, some you adjust based on the layer palettes. The render time effects we'll take a look at now are actually project-wide types of effects. They are not animatable over time. You engage them or you do not. We have a basic character here, Jace, cool guy Jace, and if we do a quick little render of him to see what he looks like, we'll see that, hey, he's standing there. He looks like your typical anime type of character, except maybe the lines aren't quite as thick on the outside. The nice thing about the system-wide or the project-wide render effects is that you can create a really different look and bypass maybe some of the details that you force yourself to concentrate on when you're doing a render or a character like this. We can see there's a bunch of detail on the character himself, and when we work with the project-wide render time effects, a lot of these details go away. They just don't matter. So if that is a look that you want, you can reconsider how much time you dedicate into your character. Now, a little word of warning. These effects only work for vector-based images. They will not work on movies. They will not work on imported imagery like JPEGs or PNG files. So knowing that, let's go ahead and take a look at them. You find them under Project Settings. And over here, we've got Render Style. Now, there's a little checkbox here to minimize frame-to-frame randomness, and this depends on how hand-drawn you want this item to look. We've got a preview render going on right here with just a character, so we can kind of see what this will look like, but you're always going to have to do renders to check it out in your scene itself. It's broken down into 3 areas: fill style, stroke style, and then layer style. So under layer style, we've got the ability to go ahead and just create a real generic type of adaptation to the look. I'll choose cutout right now. We'll see a preview right here, and we can see everything surrounded with a white line, and we can see the colors are muted a little bit. If I click OK and we do a quick preview render, we'll see that this time Jace comes up and look, he's got an automatic drop shadow. There's this white outline around him. Yep, looks like cut paper. Now you'll notice that all the details seen earlier are still here. So this effect doesn't work like that in terms of eliminating detail. Let's come back into our project settings and instead come down to heavy outline. Now this is really nice if you've got some color only type of objects and you want to separate them from other background elements or things like that. If we go ahead and do a preview render again, we'll see we get a completely different look. The white line's been turned black, there's no drop shadow, and for every layer you will get a black outline. So it's a nice way to segregate one layer from another without having to do the extra artwork required to go ahead and make sure you've got an outline that matches all the way around the character. Let me go ahead and close this. But let's look at some of the others. And to do that, I'm going to turn off the layer effects itself and simply leave as normal. You can really, I don't want to say overtax your system, but you can start combining these in such a way that, well, they frankly wind up not looking too good. The fill style is a great one. There's ones here that we can choose for back transparent if we wanted to crayon. If we choose something like this, we do get a little update right here. And these do work well together, the fill and stroke options. So if we go ahead and say, all right, I want to go ahead and also have a stroke crayon. So I've got a crayon fill and crayon stroke. When I go ahead and select OK, we do a preview render just to see what that looks like. We'll get a much different look here. And in fact, it's kind of a frightening one with the character's feature set. So it pays to go ahead and explore some of these. One way that you can generally get around some of these items if you want when they start looking particularly ugly is to go ahead and come to the hatch setting. That's one of the most generic type of hand-drawn looks that we can get. And if we come down to hatch for the fill and choose normal for the stroke, then we get this type of look going on with our character. Let's do a preview render. We'll get some nice basics, but details like the eyes are still showing up kind of clearly. So you get a little bit of this Cheshire cat type of look going on. But these are just fun to play with. Know they're there, know that they work only for vector layers, and have a lot of fun with it.